Hey everyone, I was just live for the NHL Draft first round 2024. Thank you so much to everyone that joined and to everyone that's hitting that subscribe button, liking, leaving their comments down below. I really do appreciate it. Winners and losers of the first round for the NHL Draft 2024. So I might miss some here. We'll have the best available on the board, all the picks above me as I had on the stream. So winners. Again, I might miss some here, and maybe there's some that are controversial. But again, my reasoning, pretty straightforward for the winners. San Jose, I think you get Celebrini, you get Dickinson. I think you got one of the best defensemen in the draft. You got the best forward in the draft. That's got to be seen as a win for San Jose. I'll also add, I'm going to add Minnesota and Buffalo as like individual winners. Same with Islanders, actually, and same with the Kings. The top picks are really just the breakout winners for me. So like Chicago, there's actually a lot of controversy around Chicago for some reason. You know what? The fact that they traded like additional picks to move up in the draft. And I think for me, I was really high on Vanacker. There's probably some bias there just with the Bulldogs, but I love the Lefshunov pick. And I think the fact that they got the forwards later on, I just think you could see the different perspective on where Chicago picks Demidov, however you say, Ivan Demidov. Montreal got him, and then later get Michael Hage, who I'm so high on. Michael Hage was so ridiculous for the Chicago Steel and a great story and a Habs fan. So I think the ultimate winners are honestly the San Jose Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens. I think individually the Chicago Blackhawks, they got three really good, intriguing prospects in the first round. Utah, the fact that they got TJ Ginla, I think is huge. But Calgary also getting Zane Parekh late in the top 10 after losing TJ Ginla was also a win in itself. So sucks that they didn't get TJ Ginla. I think it was going to be really cool to see another Ginla in a Flames jersey, but I think Zane Parekh is quite the consolation. So I like that. Islanders getting Cole Yzerman, absolute steal. I think that could be one of the steals of the draft. LA getting Liam Greentree, absolute steal in the draft. Minnesota getting Zeev Buium where they did, absolute steal. And then Buffalo, I think the asset management and what I've talked about with other teams, Buffalo actually trades back, still gets Constant Helenius, I think is a huge, huge pick. So you could just go across the board on these winners. Like Utah, I think their first NHL draft, and they get TJ Ginla and Cole Beaudoin, if that's how you pronounce it. So I think Cole has actually been seen as like a Nick Suzuki comparison in the Barrie Colts, ironically, but I think the real win was getting TJ Ginla, even though some people might see it as a little high, but I think what they came out of it, winners. So, you know what, losers, when I say losers, I don't say that they're necessarily losers for their picks, but Ottawa, I think Carter Yakemchuk could be really explosive with his offense and size, 6'3" red shot, can put up goals, like as a defenseman, power play points, all that. I'm just a lot higher on Zeev Buium and Zane Parekh. That's my reasoning on loser. Not to say Yakemchuk won't pan out. I actually think he's really intriguing. He's got a lot of flaws to his game, but a lot of high ceiling potential. New Jersey, again, Siliev, he won't be in the NHL for at least 2, 3, 4 years, along with obviously a lot of other guys, but he's not even coming over to Canada. That one is more so the fact that I think the Devils shouldn't be in this spot. They're losers because they shouldn't be in this spot. I was thinking maybe they try to get a guy that's going to contribute more recently or more in the near future with that offense. And the fact that they've already picked like Nemec and like Luke Hughes, I don't want to call them losers for the pick because I think it could actually build a really good defense core with Anton Siliev, who's 6'7". So the pick itself is not losers, but I just think with the Devils being in the situation that they are and the fact that the guys that were on the board, like a Zeev Buium, for example, that's kind of my perspective. The Flyers, I just think the fact that there was so much talk of them trading up and potentially like getting into the top 5 and then maybe trading back, like none of it happened for the Flyers and I don't think Jet Luchenko's bad. I think he's actually like a really good overall player, but I've seen him a few times for the Guelph Storm, so I think he's decent, but at the same time, I think the Flyers kind of just failed in their plan. It really looked like they were trying to trade up or trade down, which leads me to think that they didn't want to take Luchenko at that spot. Toronto, same thing. I mean, Danford seems like a good quality puck blocker, defensive guy who could also put up points, scored 4 goals in the playoffs, had a long run with the OHL, Oshawa Generals. So, again, I'm not going to doubt Toronto in terms of looking last year at Easton Cowan. I don't think they're losers in terms of the pick. Maybe just asset management. Maybe they could have traded back again, or at the same time, maybe they could have done Edmonton trades in I think they're losers for the fact that they traded one of their 2025 or 2026 first-round picks. Like Edmonton, they don't know their future with Draisaitl, McDavid, all that stuff. Clearly, they're confident because if it doesn't go well for them the next year or two, that could end up being like a pick that's higher up versus like the last pick of the draft. So they draft Sam O'Reilly. I actually like Sam O'Reilly. He really came on the rise for the London Knights again, kind of similar to what Easton Cowan did the previous year. So again, for the most part, I'm not really hating on the picks itself, but they're losers for certain reasons, whether I thought they could pick a guy better, or asset management, or just it seemed like their plan failing more specifically to the Philadelphia Flyers. So with Philly, it just seemed like they wanted to do something with that pick, and they didn't end up doing that. So winners, again, I don't really love picking losers for the draft, but just in terms of planning and what could have been, maybe some losers there. But ultimate winners for me, number 1, San Jose, number 2, Montreal, and you know what? I think Minnesota and New York Islanders with those picks and Yzerman and Bowie, I'm getting them later, is pretty huge. But San Jose and Montreal is the 1-2 punch for me. Let me know, guys, who you think are the ultimate winners of this draft. And yeah, we'll talk soon. I'm probably going to do a more in-depth winners and losers as I see the rest of the draft after the full draft is over. So you'll probably see something from me maybe on Sunday. And then also I'll be live maybe on Sunday. And also I'll be live all day for Monday NHL Free Agency. So subscribe, like, comment, notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.